We have literally stopped abortion in the state of Mississippi. The only clinic is in Jackson, 3 blocks from the Capitol sits the only abortion clinic in the state of Mississippi. A bill was drafted that said if you would perform an abortion in the state of Mississippi, you must be a certified OBGYN and you must have admitted privileges to a hospital. Anybody here in the medical field knows how hard it is to get admitted privileges to a hospital. It's going to be challenged, of course, in the Supreme Court and all, but literally we stopped abortion in the state of Mississippi legally without having to with Roe versus Wade. So we done that. I was proud of it. The governor signed it into law. And of course, there you have the other side. They're like, well, the poor, pitiful women that can't afford to go out of state are just going to start doing them at home with a coat hanger. That's what we heard over and over and over. But hey, you have to have more values. You have to start somewhere, and that's what we decided to do.
You have to have moral values. You have to start somewhere. That was Bubba Carpenter, a Mississippi state representative, a Republican, bragging about what he considers to be the successful Republican effort in Mississippi to effectively ban legal abortion in that state. Technically, abortion is still legal. That's guaranteed by the U.S. Constitution. But the Republicans' plan in Mississippi is that, in practical terms, you will soon not be able to get a legal abortion anywhere in the state of Mississippi. And if that leads to women killing themselves with coat hangers, well, you have to start somewhere. You have to have moral values. In the 2008 presidential campaign, Barack Obama and Joe Biden beat John McCain and Sarah Palin, and they beat them really badly. This was the Electoral College vote. It was not close. This was the percentage vote for the popular vote. Popular vote was not close either. And part of the reason the Democrats were able to get such a big overall margin of victory in the popular vote is that even though Republicans did have a female vice presidential nominee, the Democrats won among women hugely. The Democrats won among women voters by 13 points. Well, today the new NBC Wall Street Journal poll is out, and it shows that the Democrats are no longer ahead in this election by 13 points like they were last time. Now, instead of being ahead by 13 points, they're ahead by 15 points. Now, it's early yet, and the election is a long way off. We don't even know, for example, who the Republicans' vice presidential nominee will be this year. But that gender gap, that 15-point gender gap in the vote this year is real. It is big. Right now, it is big enough that it is potentially determinative for the election. And the Republicans know it. The most high-profile campaign committee in the Republican-controlled House of Representatives is something called the Young Guns, which is associated with House Majority Leader Eric Cantor. A few weeks ago, they unveiled a Young Guns for Gals. They're calling it YG Woman Up. It's supposed to be like Man Up, but for woman. It's got the requisite kind of pinkish logo. The idea here is that the Republicans can't be anti-woman because they've started this Young Guns group for ladies so that they can work to elect all of these women to Congress. Of course, the list of candidates the Young Guns have endorsed is actually proportionally even less female than the House of Representatives already is right now. So if you don't think there are enough women in Congress now, then woman up, and we'll make that even worse. Yeehaw! Now today, House Republicans are doing the same thing that the Young Guns did, but they're doing it writ large for the whole Republican caucus. They have announced the formation of something called a Women's Policy Committee in the House. Women's Policy Committee, is that a committee for members of Congress who are interested in policy that affects women's issues? Do not be fooled. Of course it's not that. It's just a committee for members of the House of Representatives who are themselves female and who are Republican. In publicizing this new committee of theirs, House Republicans have also perhaps inadvertently shone a light on the fact that of their 242 House Republican members, only 24 of them are women. But just as Republicans seem bewildered that putting Sarah Palin on the ticket in 2008 did not help them do better with women voters that year, they still seem baffled by the fact that their problem with women voters isn't necessarily an image problem. It's not about whether or not Republicans look female enough. It's a policy problem. They may have unveiled something called a Women's Policy Committee today, but it has nothing to do with policy. They are keeping the same policies. They are keeping the same Republican policy positions that earned the party the War on Women title this year. They just want you to know that some of the Republicans who espouse those policies are themselves female. Feel better? So yeah, it is a guy named Bubba in Mississippi who is bragging about how women might soon be using coat hangers to give themselves abortions in that state, maybe killing themselves in the process. But of the 24 members of the Women's Policy Committee in the House of Representatives, according to Planned Parenthood, their collective rating on those members of Congress supporting women's reproductive rights, averaged together, is below 6%. As pointed out by Think Progress today, every single one of these women who was in Congress at the time voted against the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act for women to be paid equally to men. 22 of these 24 of these people in this caucus voted for the Republican rollback of the Violence Against Women Act. This is where the whole war on women idea came from. This is where that 15-point gender gap came from. It is policy. It isn't that women voters just think that Republicans are all men. It isn't that people think President Obama is a woman. It's policy. It's policy. It's policy. It is not about the chromosomes of who is in power. It is about what people are using their power for.